Welcome to the last video. Just a few more tips to get you on your way, and we're going to talk a little bit about what the research says and some activities that you can do to help you incorporate sign into your daily life. Once your child's around 12 months old, give or take, and once they know a few signs, you might want to start combining signs. That's certainly fine. So it could be something like reading is all done, or do you want more, please? Food is all done. And what you also might see is that the child will combine signs themselves. Not all children do it, but some do, and that's really great. And that's where you realize that a little goes a long way. They can have only 10 signs, but they will combine them in certain ways to tell you what they want. And it's really awesome when they do, actually. And I have two sort of fun anecdotes about where kids did it on their own. One was Henry, who you just saw in the video. He was coming to my classes. Him and his dad were walking up and down the hallway, and his dad was carrying him, so he was holding him, and he was about to put Henry down, and then Henry went like this, which was like, you know, more hugging, more holding, don't put me down. And that was actually the first time he'd done this sign, because he'd been exposed to it. We had taught it to him, but he'd never done it. So in that moment, he whipped out the sign that he needed, and with two very simple concepts was able to say, don't put me down. And then the other one was, which I didn't get to see myself, the child was 13 months, dad left the room, and the boy went like this, which was great. It was more dad. So again, a very little goes very far with signs. I will say that most families, they learn up to like 10 signs, some go more, 20, but honestly, even if you have 10 signs, life got a whole lot easier. If you have more all done, milk, food, please, a bunch of other signs, that's a lot. So a little goes a long way. It's not as though you have to get to 50 signs before it becomes worthwhile. You're going to want to think about this at some point, which is when they know a sign, but they're not wanting to use it, do they then still get what they want? So if they know the sign for food, or the sign for please, but they're not willing to do the sign, just because they won't, because they're babies and sometimes they just don't want to do things, do you then still give them what they want or not? Do they have to sign for it or not? It's something you're going to have to deal with at some point, because if they can get what they want without signing, why sign? So you want to keep that in mind and kind of build in that motivation to keep them going. Of course, it's never going to be perfect. There are some times where they just throw a major tantrum and you're in a store or you're in a rush and you have to sort of do what you have to do, and you can't always sort of demand that sign or insist on it. But you do want to keep it in mind that if they can get what they want by screaming for it, then it defeats the purpose. Then why are you teaching them to sign if they can get what they want without signing? So at some point, you're going to have that sort of dilemma, and make sure that at times you do insist or simply not give them what they want because they didn't sign for it. And chances are when you do that, they will very quickly change their minds and come after you and do the sign anyway, because then they realize, like, okay, if I want it, I have to do please, or I have to do more. Also, down the road, when children get to be a little bit older, there will likely be tantrums, and they're so much fun. They're actually really good teaching moments. They're just not the most pleasant. But if they're in the midst of a tantrum or they're really screaming for something, that's a really great time to show them an alternate choice, something else that they can do to get what they want. It's not as though babies really like having tantrums. I mean, they're upset and screaming and crying. It's really not enjoyable for them either. So if you can show them something else in those moments to get them what they want, it really goes a long way. And one of the things that I sometimes do when a child is sort of having those moments where they're really in a tantrum mode is I will sometimes say, oh, you're stuck and you want help. And I do the sign, and then I'll take their hands and very quickly make them feel that sign, and then I say, oh great, you did the sign for help, wonderful, now I'll help you. And it just gives them that little bit of information to show them an alternative, that if you do this thing that I'm helping you feel, this sign, then I will give you what you want. You don't have to scream for it. Of course, it's a little bit of a formality, because in that moment they're not really doing the sign, but you are helping them feel what the sign is, and you're showing them a very real alternative. So in those tantrum moments, once in a while, you might want to sort of stop and grin and bear and teach them a sign, or at least let them experience a sign, so that they can learn a different way of asking. Something that's really important is to just quite simply stick with it. Sometimes it just takes a while, and especially if you've been doing it for 2 or 3 months and you don't see them signing back to you, you might start to feel that it's not working. It is. You just got to stick with it. And also, not all children sign at the same time. The earliest I've seen children sign is 9 months. Most kids it's around 10 months, but some don't do it until they're 12 months old. So you might actually be doing this for some time before you see them signing back to you. But if you stick with it, it really will pay off. And keep in mind that the most important time is really between 12 and 18 months. That's where they need it the most, and you can ease the most frustration by signing. So stick with it. I just want to give you some ideas for other activities that you can do to help you sign. One is to use board books. Whenever you have their attention on sort of one thing, it's a great time to introduce a sign. So in a board book, there's always one picture per page. So if it's, I don't know, an apple, then you do the sign for apple. So board books are great for that. Also, any favorite songs you're already singing, Old MacDonald, Twinkle Twinkle, Mary Had a Little Lamb, all you do is add in one iconic sign, and then that becomes the sign that goes with that song. So Mary Had a Little Lamb, Three Little Monkeys Jumping on the Bed, Old MacDonald, you can cover all your animals. But to introduce those signs with the songs is really fun. And also peekaboo. Peekaboo is, I know, I've never met a baby who does not like peekaboo. So what you can do is, in this case I have a bunny puppet. There's a bunny. This is time for bunny. That's a bunny. So what you can do with whatever you're teaching, pardon? Bunny.
With your left hand?
It's because the puppet's on my right hand.
Okay.
So actually the full sign would be both. Yeah. Yes. Although if you do it with one hand, it's still understood. So what you do with the peekaboo is you would hide, in this case the bunny, and then go, where's the bunny? Where'd the bunny go? Where's the bunny? Where's the bunny? There's the bunny. You see the bunny? There we go, bunny. Oh, where's the bunny? Where's the bunny? Where'd it go? There it is. There's the bunny. Yeah, there's a bunny. I know, it's a bunny. See, but peekaboo works great because they're so fascinated by the thing that keeps disappearing, so their attention is on that one thing, and you do the sign. And they can do it endlessly. So it's great. Also, you can hug the bunny, absolutely. I might lose an arm, but that's okay. Also, you can use Skype or FaceTime. You know how kids love to look at screens. So if you're Skyping or FaceTiming with someone anyway, sing, shake, and stop together. Or have grandma pop in and out of the screen and go, where's grandma? There's grandma. Because again, you have that attention on that person and then do the sign. Grandma can sit there and hold a bunny puppet and go, where's the bunny? So, you know, you can turn it into a game, and especially when it's all up to grandma now. But it works really, really well. And if you have their attention anyway, then add some signs to it. And also you can use mirrors. Kids love mirrors, even if they don't know that it's them yet. They are so fascinated by it. And what you can do when you're in front of a mirror is sign with them, sing, shake, and stop, or sing any of the other songs. But also when you're in front of the mirror, it's really helpful to actually take their hand and let them feel it. Because in that moment, you're matching their sensory experiences. Because now they see it and they feel it at the same time. And that's really helpful to them. So if you are in front of a mirror and they let you move their hands, that can be really helpful to sort of go, let's, you know, talk about milk. Or more, or food, or whatever the case may be. So when you're in front of a mirror and they're intrigued anyway, add some signs, but take their hands if they let you and shape the signs on their hands.
So even though it's out of context?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's hopefully you can turn it into something where it becomes let's do shake and stop, or and then what I would do is I sort of talk about it. Be like, can we do the sign for milk? So I sort of talk about what we're doing. I don't sort of just randomly do it. I would acknowledge that we're doing the sign for milk. Look, we're practicing. Do you feel that? I'm doing it too. Do you see that? And you sort of talk about the thing that you're doing. Does that help? A word about the research. There isn't a whole lot of research just yet on signing with babies, but there are some really good studies, and they seem to indicate that there are some long-term benefits to signing. And of course, we sign with babies because of the immediate needs and to give them a tool for expression where they otherwise wouldn't have one, and to experience that increase in bonding and to make your life easier.
It was a frustration eliminator a little bit. I think it empowered him to tell us what he wanted.
Definitely.
Much more so than just whining, that's what most kids I think do, is, you know, and so that was really helpful.
So I think he got a tremendous amount out of using the sign language. I think that from an early age he was able to communicate all his needs, and it made everything sort of go smoother because I was understanding how he was communicating and vice versa. And so it really, compared to my other mommy friends, seemed to cut down on tantrums and just kids who were upset. So he seems pretty relaxed and pretty content.
it is good to know that there seem to be some long-term benefits, like increased vocabulary by the time they're 2 years old, like more complex sentence structure, earlier potty training, less biting, less tantrums. Those are all wonderful benefits. And if you're curious about reading more on the research, it's on the website. And all you do is just click on the links, it'll pop right up, and you can read up on what we know right now about what happens to children in their development and how it seems to help them in the long run. So check that out if you're curious. That wraps it up for us. That brings us to the end. Hopefully this was helpful to you. Now you know what Baby Sign Language is, why we do it, how you start with it. You sort of know what to expect as you go through this process. And hopefully you'll be on your way to signing success. Definitely keep us posted. Hopefully you'll have lots of wonderful videos to show of your baby signing soon. Share them with us. We'd be happy to share them with other families. You can find Signing Up on Facebook. You can also find Signing Up on Twitter. We're certainly on YouTube, and we already have a whole bunch of videos on there of babies who are successfully signing. We'd love to add your child to the list and to the videos. And that's it for me. Again, my name is Melissa. Thank you for trying out these Signing Up videos. Good luck, and happy signing.
All right, lady, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, all right. And that brings us to the end. That's it. Thank you.
You screwed up the thank you.
Sure.
Good luck and happy signing. Yay! Are we done? Am I done? Put a fork in me?